Yes, Anambra the Force every Friday, 4:30 p.m. on Ebona, the 103.5 FM as Street Reports on Foods. In your face. On Emas and Ebona, the corner. 24/7. 24/7. Hi, I am Martin Epan. Say my name to define mass media, and it is defined. I am Martin, journalist to the core, a broadcaster if you will. I am Martin, the film director. I am Martin, producer. CKC call me metal or mobile piggy. Osuma call me metal. For know me as the lyrical killer who calls me Papoa. Whenever I look at the sky from here, I think the most type was cool.
Yes, it's about time, it's about time to cause social change in those areas where we ought to, we are here. It's about time for that, magical ombudsmanship to happen right now for you to get it, it's about time. Mana nwanne asị ka eme a matter ka ọ bụrụ your matter ibugodo ụzọ sị gị kpọọ ya mantra isi yes no mantra ịkpọzie ya mantra it becomes a leadership thing ịghọtago gịnị ọ bụrụ your matter really that's how it is made your matter but your matter in this one is my mantra it remains my mantra is the leadership to live this life to do this particular thing for this life when it comes to the responsibility of the fourth realm, serving that service, bringing that service, to everybody. That service of the fourth realm, protecting that particular realm and its responsibility. That's what we have come here to do today on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. So, good evening and welcome to Ebona, the one and only, welcome to Ebona, the 103.5 FM. As Street Report is about to unfold right now on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. Are you with me? Yes, once again, you are welcome to the wonderful knowledge and spirit-filled edition of Street Report on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. I remain the one and only, me, myself, and more. I, Martin Efan Shukwe Kizias, and but the first, the one that I call Metal Saint Martin. I'm here. Yes, it's about to unfold. It's about to happen right now. How are you doing this evening? Ndafi azụkwa taa. Ndị obodo na-ekwe mgbucha. Boom. Yotago. Yes, it's all good. Today, we want to cause social change, and some of the changes that is just coming on its own, but at the time, we need to mold it. Today we are looking at the airport as a facility, the international cargo airport in Anambra State. That's what we are looking at today. As a matter of fact, a lot of people, argued the fact that is it needed? As at this time, Anambra does not need an airport. We have other important things we have to, reason for. We saw this kind of argument before it came to place. Before we now saw, okay, the airport thing is the real thing is happening. And even while it's there, people still, some people are still arguing with that fact that, okay, this is not like the best thing we need right now, Don't you think so? But if you look at it properly, you see that airport is a very important thing to the development of any community, any society where or it is situated, any state where it is. Airport is very important for the economic, social, economic development of such a place, basically. Well, the host community and state, it brings a lot of business, a lot of employment. It brings a whole lot of things with it. It connects that particular community, state, or city to the rest of the world. When we say the word international, now a lot of state to state activities, country country activities, we increase, and that will bring about a lot of business the way I'm looking at it right now. For example, if you look like places like Abuja and Lagos, you see a whole lot of five-star hotels over time and a whole lot of investments following the fact that, okay, this thing is here and a lot of people are connecting from other world, other aspects of the world. And now let me break it down. Anambra State is a state that clamored for airports for a very long time, for a long time, if I can remember, from the visit of Pope John Paul II, I think in 1982, Anambra already began talking about airports from that time till now. The fact that, okay, the Pope John Paul landed at Obaden, before, paying visit to some of the places, he needed to visit as at the time in Nigeria. At that time, he came for that particular official duty. So ever since, Anambra State have been talking about airport for a long time, but as God may have it, in the administration of, Willie Obiano, we saw one actualize itself, by the efforts of the governor as at that time. So we give it up to Willie Obiano's administration. Hate him or love him, he did something we have been clamoring for a long time. He brought that about. So he deserves some accolades. But anyhow, when I open the phone lines, if you don't think so, you tell me why you don't think so. Let me tell you that Senator Smart Adeyemi, he visited us at the time when the airport was being commissioned. After it was like when it was starting its business, like the first time a plane landed in that vicinity, in that airport, Senator Sam Adeyemi talked about the fact that economic development, if you must think of that, then the aviation sector is very much important in actualizing that kind of development that you're looking at. So you can't be talking about economic development when you don't have an airport. Basically, that's what he was insinuating. So for the development of the economy, even social development for a community depends on aviation, And I believe that the Ngige-led administration and then the P2B-led administration understood this sense, like how important an airport is to the development of a state, that they are the ones that initiated, they started this movement before it was finalized by the Willie Obiano administration. But anyhow, Anambra State is a state where everybody is wise. Everybody, my friend Anambra, then when you are talking, they will be looking at you. When they say their own, baka. And then again, and I say, yeah, gonna we're gonna be in can baka. So because of that, a lot of opinions, came out. A lot of people even condemned the airport that is not needed as at this time. What are we doing with the airport itself? And a whole lot of things. And that is exactly what we have come here to talk about today. Basically, looking at the fact that the airport, yes, is there already, but it's not complete. A whole lot of other things will have to be put in place. So all of this is the cause of our discussion on this particular edition of Street Report on Ebona Ade 103.5 FM. But before we go any further, let me bring you to the dance floor, to shake it up a little bit, the stress, everything that we are, that compartment of stress and everything. Let's check it off right now. And then you remember that this is Street Report on Ebona, the 103.5 FM on a far. But so Martin Ifan Shukwe Kizia's number the forces, the one here, they call him Metal Saint Martin. Let's dance to this and I'll be right back. Yes, this is where we talk about it. When like everybody else is overlooking that particular stuff, this is where we talk about that important stuff, where we talk about the hardcore issues, dissect it and break it down. You're welcome back to Street Report on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. I remember Martin Ifan Shukwe is the number the first, the one that I call Metal. Yes, we are talking about the international cargo airport in Anambra State. Yes, the airport is a big feat for Anambra State. The airline that first landed in Anambra is owned by an Anambrian, Chief Onyema Allen. They said he was moved to tears and hugged Governor Obiano when this airport was, commissioned. And his flight, that is Airpeace, was the first plane to land on that ground. It was historical. It's something like maybe years to come now, a lot of people will talk about it as if it's as not just as current affairs, the first plane that landed, a whole lot of things, is history there, basically. But that history needs to be, directed in some kind of way. And that's the reason why we are here today, to talk about that particular international airport and how it is going to enhance economic activities in Anambra State. The benefits the common man has, like whatsoever, what is the benefit of this entire thing to the common man, basically. That's exactly all that we are looking at today, basically. We've talked about the fact that, yes, the Obiano administration, is brought it about, but at the same time, there are expectations from the Anambra people, expectations Anambra people have for this current governor, Professor Chukuma Soludo. They have Anambrarians have expectations when it comes to that particular airport, and those expectations are something we are going to address on this program today, basically. Yes, if you get to the airport, you see that we still have places that needs to be expanded, and like some critics are also looking at the terminal, that it needs to be expanded. If we are going to call it international cargo airport, it needs to accommodate uh, multiple airlines at first, like whenever operation is on, or accommodate a lot. Is supposed to accommodate a lot of international airlines already, but right now we are is operating with just two airlines, basically, based on the report or our investigation. Two airlines, that of Onyema, and then one other airline as well. But yet, when you look at the terminal, it is jam-packed and a whole lot of things is involved. Yes, we are going to talk about the role of the current governor in this stand, in what we are talking about right now. Yes, if you look at it properly, Anambra International Cargo Airport was designed to meet up with the standard of international airports, but has it gotten to that international standard yet? Some of the facts that you need to know now is that it has the second longest runway in the country, in the airports we have in the country. It also has the facility for 24 hours operation. But another thing you must observe about Anambra Airport is the location where it is situated between Onisha and Oka, that is in Umueri. Okay, even, yes, in Umueri. From there now, you could negotiate to Onisha. If you land in at Umueri now, you can negotiate to Onisha easily, and at the same time negotiate to Oka easily. So the idea of having it at that spot is like legendary on its own. Meanwhile, there are other thoughts or ideas that we have to take a proper look at, when it comes to this issue of international airport. When I tell you that this international airport is a dream come true, listen to this so you get to understand why I said that it is a dream come true. When one of the largest airports in Nigeria, Anambra International Cargo and Passengers Airport, successfully concluded its maiden test flight on 30th April 2021, the feat was described as a dream come true. The dream of building an airport in Anambra, conceived 30 years ago, was faithfully fulfilled by Obiano's administration. Now, if four major airports in Nigeria and other states' airports will make you conclude that Anambra Airport is indeed a treasure bestowed upon the people. It is a symbol of a man who stood against all odds, having received several cautions, discouragements, and backlash from people. Governor Obiano knew this was a project that had to be accomplished. Building the airport was considered a dream too big to accomplish, a mountain too great to climb, a river too deep to swim. And you won't blame Anambrians because we have clamored for this for a very long time. Yes, the people calling, let's so that we understand exactly where the like what the challenge is supposed to be in this particular story now of the Anambra International Cargo Passengers Airport. Basically, what we are supposed to be talking about. Like, is it generating enough for Anambra already? And what should be done in order to bring it to that standard that will generate a lot for Anambra as a state? Now, let me tell you that one of the challenges now is the land where it is situated. The fact that, okay, there is still a little loggerhead here and there, by the people of Nteje community in Oyi local government area of Anambra State have protested naming of the International Cargo and Passengers Airport after their neighbors, Umueri, in Anambra State East local government area. The protest is described as an unfair decision by the former governor Willie Obiano-led administration to name the airport after Umueri when 70% of the land housing the airport was donated by their community. This is like there. There is a challenge that is there, but it's still on the low. Basically, we are not seeing any violence or anything from this one, basically right now. But the good thing is for us to know some of the challenges, that needs to be addressed when it comes to the international airport, international cargo airport at Umueri in Anambra State. Now, this is what is expected of the Soludo administration when it comes to that particular international airport. Budget allocated to complete Anambra International Airport in Nigeria. The governor has budgeted the sum of 4 billion naira to complete the remaining ongoing work at the Anambra State International Passengers / Cargo Airport. Governor Shukuma Soludo of Anambra State said he has budgeted the sum of 4 billion naira to complete the remaining ongoing work at the Anambra State International Passengers Cargo Airport, built by his predecessor, Chief Willie Obiano. Soludo disclosed this through the Commissioner of Budget and Economic Planning, Mrs. Chiamaka Nake, during a press conference that broke down the 2022 budget at the Government House in Oka. Newsmen had earlier reported that Governor Soludo had last week presented a revised budget of 2022 to Anambra State House of Assembly with a size of 170 billion as against the existing of 142 billion naira, which was presented last year by former governor, like last 2 years now, by former governor Willie Obiano. So basically, the Anambra State government is still going to spend like the sum of 4 billion naira on that airport to bring it to the standard that it will now generate fund for Anambra State. My question to you today is, do you see any need for international airport in Anambra State? And if you do, this investment that is being done now, do you think is going to generate a lot for Anambra State in the coming years if the needful is done? So these are the questions that we'll be looking at now. You, as a common man, what purpose do you think this airport is supposed to serve you as an Anambrarian? Listen to the sound of my voice right now, or anywhere you're listening to, or maybe Anambra and its environs, basically. So the numbers you will call to become part of this conversation here today, 080-9666-1035. The airport is for all of us here in Anambra. I need to hear from you. Let me know your take on this. Let's hear from you. Hello? Yeah, good evening.
Hi, Graham.
Very fine. Your name and location? Where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from.
Please go on. Yes, go on. You know what we're talking about, right? Okay, go on.
This Anambra airport.
Mm.
Number one, I would like us to be correcting that impression.
Okay.
Calling it international airport.
Okay.
Let us be correcting it for now.
Okay.
So that people will know the stage the airport is. Because when we are calling it international airport, it will be deceiving and confusing the people that would have helped to make it international airport. Let us be addressing it as a local airport so that people that will help to make it international airport will know the state it is.
Okay.
That is one.
Okay.
And again, these billions on that airport.
Yeah.
Is it not too much?
Okay.
Because I know that when that airport was started, Obiano was calling billions for international airport Anambra State. And we thought it is like that. Later, when the Obiano was contesting the election for second tenure, somebody came to a radio station and was telling us that no, that Obiano, he doesn't know what Obiano was doing. And it's like the man wants to siphon the money because as far as he know that the airport was through a concession or PPP project. You know?
Okay.
And if that is the case, that billions the one was mentioning shouldn't be arising. And at the end of the day, what the man was telling us on radio became truth that when Obiano wants to hand over, the very day he handed over, he was carrying the billions to run away from Nigeria. And they caught him at the airport. You see now, Soludo have come and they are calling billions again for that same airport. That Obiano told us was
but don't you see the importance of the airport to Anambra State first as a state? Don't you see the importance of this airport to Anambra as a state? Even if it is half airport, but at least any airport at all for Anambra State to have airport, don't you think is a good thing for Anambra to even say, okay, we have one that we are landing on now?
No, but no, the airport, we love it, my brother.
Okay.
It's a good project that is being done in Anambra State. But what I'm saying now, making it as a tunnel to be siphoning the billions meant to develop Anambra State in other areas is a problem. It's not proper. It cannot be because it's good for us. They not make it a tunnel to be siphoning the money meant for the state development. That's what I'm saying. And now, if you cargo goods in that airport now, and where do you think the good is landing? Where you cargo goods now to send it abroad? Where do you think that the good will land first?
That's the case. It depends on like the airline you're working with now.
Where do you think that the plane will land first? If you cargo it there now in the airport to take it abroad, either to US or to China or to Germany, wherever. Where do you think that the plane will land?
Based on the locality of the airport now, the fact that international aircraft are not connecting yet, you know, he will still land in Nigeria before he leaves for another country now. That's the thing.
So now then why should you be calling it international airport if you can't go to land it?
I think the international airport is like something someone is just shooting out there, you know, like calling it that this is, and the design already. We have one terminal already. Maybe the plans was to have multiple terminals, you know, that will make it international airport in the first place. So, but starting it off with just one terminal, then it's international, calling it international to actualize it with the 4 billion now, basically.
Well, my brother, well, you are point, but anyway, let us call it international for now. Though even if it is built or done in international standard, as I say, let it not be mentioned as international airport, so that what will make it international will come.
Okay, but
people that want to make it international, they will know that yes, it is not international, but they will now come to make it international.
Okay.
For now, it is a
local airport.
We call it Anambra
local airport.
Kanu bound airport, or Anambra Kaduna bound airport, or Anambra
Lagos bound
airport.
Okay.
Not international.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your input. But it is your own take. We'll hear from other people to see if they will love it, like calling it international airport anyway. You know. Thank you so much. Yes, it is still Straight Report on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. What is your take on this one? The last caller is telling us that we shouldn't be calling it international cargo airport anymore. Till we are connecting international flights and everything on that particular airport, and have a terminal that will accommodate a lot of airlines at once. You know, basically. That's when. But if you don't think so, The numbers to call to become part of the conversation: 08096661035. Let's hear from you. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Good evening, my brother.
Yeah, good evening, my brother.
I'm
Emmanuel from Monica.
Okay, please go on, Emmanuel.
I think we should tell ourselves the truth.
Okay.
Anambra for the first time.
Okay.
Anambra International Airport. Even if in US, in London, but what international airport I got, we international leadership.
Okay.
My brother, you are learned man.
Okay.
International airport they are probably local for some years. Different well internationally. So here and the Bible, some to the mother respect. And the Yahoo, here Anambra the most the highest Anambra city. Because for I can wear this businessman in Nigeria.
Okay.
I am the most traveling to go Nigeria. You know what now?
Some people will disagree. Wow. Some people will disagree to that effect, Sha.
No, I want to travel to go Nigeria.
Okay, continue. Okay, continue.
These people in Lagos State, they're flying was the highest. And I might have to put in Lagos. All I want to do is to get a book and get it. If you need me enough on Lagos, my Kaduna, my Benin, Gamma, Banya, buy anything look more. So, what even a policy to get by the Yabo? You could go to another land, and my boy 1 9 workable Soludo. That's the guy. I want to have a
okay.
But you want that this Christmas, if you play here for that, one of you is on but I want that one that go get land from Abuja to ever, from Balance forever. But it's brilliant.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. Yes, it is Street Reports on Ebona Day 103.5 FM, and the bone of contention today is Anambra International Cargo Passenger Airport at Umueri. Do you think it is international already, as some of the callers is telling us that we should desist from calling it international till we begin to connect international flights? Let's hear from you. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, my brother. Please, Gabaniru.
The airport you're talking about is International Cargo Airport.
Okay.
I remember when the airport was finished, the project, either inauguration or whatever. The Minister for Aviation, I think this is the policy we are talking about for marginalization.
Okay.
The Minister for Aviation said that, due to security problems, the service should not be awarded the status of international airport until further notice. Understand?
Okay.
I had it at very time. No matter of whether it's international cargo airport.
Okay.
It's even one of the best in Africa.
Yeah.
That is the problem of marginalization we're talking about in Nigeria. You can confirm it from many people.
But well, one of the things I think they might be looking at is, if you look at Ebonyi State Airport, it is not yet completed, but the terminal is bigger than that of Anambra. You know that, right?
It's not about the size.
Okay.
The facility. You understand?
Okay.
It's not about the size. It's facilities. Once we have the international flight, the land that we take off. Not maybe whether it's going to is like the whole Anambra, it's not this thing.
The level of, like, look at another argument there is that the level of, like, the size of the departure room. If you have boarded any aircraft before, you understand what I mean by departure room, like the place where everybody now sits and waits for their plane to come to the place where they will now board it. Basically, that place is being complained that is too jam-packed, it's little to handle international flights. What is your take on that one?
That one alone does not disqualify it from being international.
Okay.
some other facilities like that. It might be that maybe they did not maybe envisage the number of passengers that will be either landing or taking off from there. They now give it. After all, every airport will not be of the same size.
Okay.
Some will be bigger than others, even if they are international. I hope you understand me.
Yes, yes. Well, based on size, there is no complaint about size. We are talking about the room now because we still have enough size, enough land there to be developed. Okay.
What I'm trying to say is that they must not be of the either size or the number of rooms or whatever.
Okay.
If you have gone there, it's international airport.
Okay.
Understand?
Okay.
So it's either the construction company that handle the project or the architect that do it. The truth is that it's international airport. When you look at the airport, you don't need anybody to tell you. So if there is any amendment, it's not because of maybe the littleness of that room. I will disqualify it from being international. It is international cargo. If you are not doing it in a way that, maybe many years' time, you not be associated.
Okay.
It's not because of either the number of the room or the number of the size or whatever that it has not been met or given international status. Who was the minister for the agriculture? I know when that airport was inaugurated. That was why the man said that because of security warfare. Some people were saying security proven is not here in Lagos, it's not here in Abuja, it's only in Anambra State. The politics we are talking about marginalization. Understand?
Okay.
There's nothing that is disqualifying from working at international airports. It's just the politics we have in Nigeria. That's what I will tell you about it. I know what I'm talking about.
No. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us this evening. This is your take. Let's hear from other people as well to see their take too. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, it is Straight Report on Ebona, the 103.5 FM, and we are talking about the International Cargo Airport in Anambra State. What is your take on that? Being that even, we saw the last administration of Obiano administration, put it in place. But at the same time, now we are looking at this particular administration of Soludo, trying to invest 4 billion naira into it. What is your take on that? Let's hear from you. Hello? Hello? Oh, please call back 08096661035. Or network mail for but still keep the calls coming. Let's hear from you. How? Please call back 08096661035. What is your take on the international cargo airport in Anambra State? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, good evening. Yeah, your name and location, please.
My name is Jojo. I'm calling from Italy.
Please go on.
This issue of international cargo airport. The issue is that when we are looking at the money pumping there, is it right here? Is this going to give us what we want? Because it's not that Soludo is now also selling us about billions. So at the end of it, when you pour that money there, you end up using other kind of engineers that will control that on. But if whether the money the airport is going to give a number of things, for generator revenue is going to give us a generator revenue.
That's what it is now. Airports all over the world is generating a lot of money. Anywhere airport is situated.
Yes, no doubt about it. And it's good that Soludo will put money into that
project.
International that project.
Okay.
Because it will save our people. I've been in the north. I understand what I'm saying. You cannot move now from this Anambra State to Abuja, for instance, and you tell me you will not have no obstacle on the road. There's a lot of obstacles.
Okay.
Then, if you have something like this in Anambra, you will be, when your brother or your sister is falling in Lagos or so, whatever happens to the person, you hear the consequences. But we need to do our own.
Okay.
Since even before the Pope jump off, Anambra State is supposed to have airport. Even I don't even expect that people will come down without giving us an airport.
Okay.
But thank God, maybe because of the land mass or something, and also, I mean, we have already seen it and created it in a very good location. Then one thing again you say about the also is that you don't need to go and carry that name, to know that 2 or 3 people, from comply and bring
the land.
The land back to just maybe after one of the anambrastate news. We have to take the to the left. Okay, maybe what do you call this outside this man that also outside left state
that's it. Okay.
A lot of things that you can name it after.
Okay.
So that is the area I'm saying.
So there is no need fighting over if it is Umueri or Nteja. Once it bears the name Anambra, everybody is involved.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much.
It's one of our issues I'm taking here.
Okay.
Because we have the respect of people. Even if you don't see in Anambra State, you can get from any other place in New Zealand and then the person after
the airport itself.
After airport, yes.
Okay.
So please, let them do something urgently and do it fast and very right.
Okay.
Because Anambra State has this one, no question about it, no question. Even though they cannot do it, and Anambra State is not one of the traveling agents and business people. There's no way. They are trying to take it from us, but no way. God has taken it there and we are taking it there.
Okay.
So that's my
okay. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Thank you so much. It is still Street Reports on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. What is your take on this? That airport belongs to us. How do you see, what do you see in this airport now? How do you wish that Anambra State government is going to position it to our benefits as Anambralians? Let's hear from you. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, please go on. Chinedu.
Okay. On the Anambra International Airport, passenger. Actually, the airport, even the habit breaker, the Minister for Aviation, stated it clearly that the airport is one of the best in Nigeria.
Okay.
I believe you were aware of it.
Yes, we had that.
But there is a very big place in this country, which we, the people as well, will try to overlook it, to play down on it. When the airport was being confused, because confused to be a Chicago airport, so there was advised to the passenger aspect of it. Now, the people they know are the most people with the highest number of players reside in Anambra, in fact, the southeast. What did they do? They confused this particular thing, and there was a particular report I read that there is this particular thing that if Anambra State is granted that Chicago International Airport, that the record system will collapse, and which is a truth. This I'm telling you to classify information.
But ever since now, he has not collapsed, and then operation is still ongoing. Like the airport is operating right now.
Calm down.
Okay, continue though. Continue.
The Anambra Airport has not been receiving cargo directly from China or from any place.
Yeah.
It must first land in
Lagos, yeah.
So I don't think that they approved it. Means our people would have left Lagos State. The fear of petition.
But don't you think that the reason why they did not approve it is because everything that is meant to be in that airport is not already there yet? The airport is there, it is operating, but some things needs to be put in place in that airport. It's one thing we must accept as a people.
Okay, my brother.
Okay.
The present renovation of the International Airport in Abuja is it not being done by this Ministry of Aviation?
Yeah, it is.
The present upgrade we are seeing in many airports in Nigeria. We are doing like this before the came in. Anambra State Airport has all it takes. The control tower is the highest in Africa.
Okay.
The runway is the biggest in Nigeria.
The second in Africa. I think the second in Nigeria. No, the second in Nigeria even, sir. The second longest runway.
The control tower, Anambra State Airport has the highest because the facilities there are top notch.
Okay.
It is quality. We all know this. be allowed to fly around. Like, okay, let's everything. Okay, so let's do that. I can't India here, the neighboring place. It's not international airport.
It is.
How many direct flights land there? You must first of all land Abuja or Lagos. If our people start making use of the, okay, for example, let's say the Christian center, the Christian Christian center start making use of Akanisian to be passed to Israel or to go to Rome, then if you get to understand what I'm telling you,
yes.
Kano Airport is made people depart from there direct to Saudi Arabia. They don't go to Abuja, they don't go to Lagos, they depart directly from Kano to Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
Why can't the people land in
and it is said that this our airport, Anambra Airport, it will take you 8 hours to get to Miami from here, from Anambra, if you take off from Anambra. But yet our people are taking off from Lagos and are landing at Amsterdam before they get to US. You know, so why the long journey then?
That is what we have to understand. The Minister of Transportation, the politics in this country, until our people get to unite and fight for our rights. That's until then.
But at the same time, we still have to look at the facilities available so far. So you even if you look at it from the political aspect, it's still conspiracy till we have all that is needed at that airport.
My brother, let us take it one after the other.
Okay.
What was the standard of
hello?
What was the
okay. With the standard of what?
Upgrade happens in everything. Upgrade happens.
Okay.
You have to first of all electronics. Electronics first. Okay, let's say a car will land. Land in Anambra. If there is anything to be checked technically, then from there you take it off. If there's nothing that is checked, to advise the government to work.
Okay.
And see the business here. Okay?
Okay.
This particular thing, everything in life needs upgrading. So Anambra Airport is not being built. Even the actual airport in London is being upgraded every time. Okay. Few days ago, I knew away 2 days ago that we have cancelled the international flights and local flights because of the IAC.
Okay, it happens.
So these are things that are bound to there must be changes.
Okay.
Nothing is constant. Anambra State is improving. Something I have handed it after there is no they don't have much traffic like locally because of the airport. Now they are people are analyzing that before Anambra we start having that much traffic. They have to regulate between Anambra and between Anambra and Asaba.
Okay.
Is that supposed to be?
Anyway.
To Asaba Airport is the number of flights that pass there locally every day. So these are things our people need to fight our rights.
Okay.
We need to fight our rights. I'm not talking about anything. Let's kill this idea of I cannot bother. Let us do this in as one leg. Don't call it your brother and support your brother.
Okay.
Go to Asaba. Don't go to Asaba and see the number of traffic. It is even from Anambra departing to Asaba to board the flight. Why can't you just support our own project here in Anambra? Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Thank you. Yes, it is still Street Report on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. We are beginning to wind down to the part where I will tell you we'll see tomorrow. But basically, we are still here. We have a little time to spend here. What is your take on the International Cargo Passenger Airport in Anambra, Umweri in Anambra, basically? What is your take on all of that? 08096661035 is the number you call, and then you become part of this conversation. We are looking at a lot of challenges, that is staring at the face of Anambra Airport, basically. And if you don't get it right, if we don't get it right, that the airport will start operating to generate, you might have an airport at the time now, it becomes defunct because it is not operating the way it ought to operate, basically. The current Anambra State Governor, Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo, is now pledging to invest 4 billion naira on that project to see that our airport comes to that particular standard that we are looking at. Let's hear from you. Hello? Yeah. Okay, please, go on.
Marginalization. I hope our people are hearing, are understanding what these people are saying.
Okay.
because there's no, uh, you can't take that away. That marginalization is there. And if they would have mentioned it themselves when they come to, commission that airport, they accept it to be international. I know there are people in this Anambra state that even support the government, whatever governor, whether Soludo or whoever, to lift up that standard just for the sake of security reasons.
Okay.
But the thing is that I don't know, and when it comes to election like this, all of us we discipline ourselves, trying to, think, thinking negatively that we cannot, falling ourselves that we cannot make it. Who says? Anambra State has been a very glorious state that if you go to history tells itself, the first president, the first senate president, the first speaker, where are they from? All these people are from Anambra State. But when they will go there, I don't know whether it's here or whatever plan has here that makes them that they cannot speak, telling people, letting the president or whoever is the president that this airport should be named international. Whether he is capable of taking off now or not, accept it first.
Okay.
Because he has the landmark. Well, okay, now accept it and say this and this, you need to put in place so that you start operating.
Okay.
You will see an aquarium. I know them. If they put their money, even when you don't even expect that they will put their money there.
Okay.
There's a lot of security, this thing that they are talking about security. Is the security in this what or half what that Kaduna to Abuja.
Okay.
For people who take off from Kaduna, go to Abuja to take a flight.
Okay.
Yeah? Then you now tell me that Anambra in my own town that I know that if you working, the Anambra themselves, even this way you are talking about, you block the road that they will not have any kidnapper or any kind of whatever called bandits or whatsoever. But when it comes to accepting that yes, you have done it, they will not tell us that and the maybe they will put it with an Igbo man here to speak that is not yet complete or whatever. I still leave my word. Soludo to do everything possible to make that effort. Let us have it standard.
Okay.
So that next year that let's see where they will come up. So,
Okay.
and by God's grace, if the election will come and things will turn around, and by the time the things turn around, even the person will be putting it, they will not see the way to criticize the person.
Okay.
So that is my take.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining us again. Thank you. It is Street Report on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. I will just have one more caller and then, we'll begin to call it a day on this particular edition of Street Report on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. As I wait that call, let me bring it to your notification that Anambra Airport is built as an international cargo and passenger airport, and it is still growing. We have generated revenue from the airport for the government of Anambra State. It is very promising from the way that it is going. And when we grow it the way we want to grow it, both the commercial arm and others, it will be self-sustaining. This is where we are going with it, basically. That's like the state of the airport as at this time. Yes, there is no doubt that, the change in business and what is going on now, like basically if that airport begins to operate at that level that we are looking at, it is going to change a whole lot of things. It's going to upgrade businesses around us, basically like the kind of development it is going to attract to the state, basically. So that's the reason why I looked at it on this particular edition of Street Report on Ebona, the 103.5 FM today. Now, if you pay close attention to what we discussed today, so like one of the callers that called today gave an advice to people who are agitating when it comes to the name, it must be. Must he go by the name of Umeri or must he go by the name of Nteja and the rest of them? The fact that he represents Anambra is all of us. So nobody, the economic boost that it is going to bring, that's what we should focus on basically. And that said, this is how I will begin to call it today on this particular edition of Street Report on Ebona at 103.5 FM. Street Report comes to you every Friday by 4:30 a.m. on Ebona at 103.5 FM. So you keep it date. Next week is going to happen again. And this is where we cause social change, and then serve that, platform of ombudsmanship, serving the responsibility of the fourth realm of the estate, basically. If you understand, if you know, you know. This is how I'll be calling it today. But meanwhile, I want to remind you that tomorrow morning it is going to be here. Political views is going to happen by 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. So join me again. And then immediately after this, in a couple of minutes, the news is coming your way. So don't touch the dial of Ebona at the 103.5 FM as we have a lot, to unleash. Don't touch that dial. I remember Martin Ifanshuku, Ekezie, as a number the first, the one that I call Metal. Till next week. Shalom.
How best can we talk about the challenges we are having on our streets, our community, our society in general?
Subscribe, all right?
If we do not address these challenges on every